Good morning, good morning, good morning. Coming to you live from New York City. New York City. Yes. Coming to you live. Okay, so welcome to the Get Rich 101 by Sekou Writes show. I got out of the by Sekou Writes. I'm going to say it again. Get Rich 101 by Sekou Writes show. I got to add that because I'm publishing a book now. So I Googled the name Get Rich 101, and there's a ton of those. So Get Rich 101 by Sekou Writes. All right, there we go. Welcome to the show. I'm your host. I'm Sekou Writes. I am a survivor. I'm a survivor. And if 100 people contracted my stroke, only 17 people would walk away. 17 people would walk away, right? 83 people would pass away in the hospital. So I am blessed. I am blessed. 17 people. So I'm one of 17. So let's go. All right. Shout out to New Thought Media Network, for giving me the freedom to do what I want to do and to create the show. And I think that's it. Well, let me show you what I'm doing here. Ta-da! Ta-da! I got the Slim and Husky's pizza box. And look, I've been writing on the back. Don't look too close. Don't look too close because my handwriting is terrible. Handwriting is terrible for my right hand hurting. But, let me tell you a quick story about me getting the Slim and Husky's box. Okay, so I went out and so my mom reminded me. I completely forgot it because my mind, I have a good idea and it fades away. Good idea fades away. So she reminded me when we were out and about. Did you want to stop by Slim and Husky's? I was like, oh yeah. So I drove by Slim and Husky's. I drove around the back where they usually put the pizza boxes. And to my knowledge, they put the same pizza boxes in the same place. So I came in the back door. I was like, all right, well, I could just walk out of here with these pizza boxes. I got two. I could just walk out with them, right? And I was like, nah, let me do what's right. So I walked up to the cash register and said, hey, how much for these? She says, what? I said, these. How much for these? She's like, a box? I was like, yeah, a box. She's like, I don't know. Straight attitude. And I was like, well, I want to buy the box, so let me know how much to pay, or if it's free. And she got her manager. The manager was like, what? We don't sell boxes? I said, yeah, I know you don't sell them. I know you don't sell them, but I'm going to buy some anyway. Because I told her straight up, I said, listen, I used to just come and take them. I used to just come, because the memories are coming back. I used to just come in here and grab 2 boxes and go. And so I'm trying not to do that this time. I'm trying to pay you for the boxes. He says, what are you going to use them for? I said, for my show. I'm going to use the show. I'm going to write down what's going on the show on the back of the pizza box. I didn't get into the stroke. I didn't even get into the stroke, but that's what I was thinking. The stroke of me grinding it out every day will be helpful to me. And my handwriting is terrible. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to read it, but I'm going to try. But anyway, I didn't get into all that. So this is from a show. I keep notes of what's going on the show. She looks at me for a second. She says, all right, well, I ain't never had nobody ask me for a box. So you just walk out like you just walked out with the box. I don't know nothing about it. Right? So I walked out with the box and I said, hey, can I take a picture with you? And she said, a picture of me? I said, yeah, you in the box. And she's like, nah, I'm one about FBI. I was like, okay. All right, so I walked off with the boxes. So I got the 2 boxes to go. And I was thinking, maybe she really does that at the FBI checking for it, but I don't think so. I think she's playing with me. But I thought that was so interesting that my change and their change. My change is I would normally just take the boxes. That's what I used to do. Here's Nelson. I would normally just take the boxes, and I was like, no, let me ask, and I got the boxes for free. So voila. So anyway, put some notes down here. I put the Get Rich Plus. That's what I was talking about. Get Rich Plus Sekou Writes. Get Rich 101 by Sekou Writes. I'm gonna change that in the whole thing. I could change this. I could change it. I was looking at this today. I gotta change this because this has to say Get Rich 101 by Sekou Writes, right? So anyway, that's one thing. And then I wrote Survivor, 100 people. I wrote that down. Shout out to New Thought Media Network. I wrote, wait a minute now. Oh, I'm not an advisor. I am not an advisor. Yes, I'm not an advisor. I'm not a physical advisor or a financial advisor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you your takes, your zing. You're going to take that to your own financial advisor, your own physical advisor, and you're going to go talk to them about my ideas. All right. If you don't have a financial advisor yet, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? I'm telling you. So I got really brief story. I got our financial advisor, me and my fiance. I got our financial advisor by just popping in and finding out that he is free. I mean, free? Yes, free. So that just blew me away. Free, y'all. Free. Now, okay, you could get into different things. Like he will recommend things that are better for his company. He's going to recommend things that are Charles Schwab related. But to me, that's free. To me, that's free. And to you, that's free too, because he's doing you everything that you ask for free. Right. So anyway, so that's that. Let's see. Daily. I got daily written here. Daily. So daily is I got my what's my number today? Today is since 938. I've been running 938 days. 938 days, right? Now, what I have to tell you about this? This is interesting because number one, people have been noticing that I've been running, but they haven't done the math. And then when they hit the number, they're like, 900? Over 900? And this was when I met Antoine. When I met Antoine, he was like, yeah, I've done 900 some odd days. And I was like, 900 days? Never thought I would get there. Never thought I would get there, right? Never, right? And here I am. And talk about our cash. Yeah, 900 ain't a thing. You know? And now I understand his laid backness about the number, because once you get to that number, you just go to the number. I'm trying to make space for Nelson. He's trying to get up here. See? He's get up here. You see him right there? Right there. He's trying to get up here. All right. So anyway, so that's that. And Nelson's looking at me. So that's that. And also he what was I saying? Oh, right. Thank you, Fee, for shouting me out off stage. Yes. So listen, 938 days, right? And the reason that this is important to me today is when I got back on Saturday, I got back to New York on Saturday, I got a cramp. I got a really intense cramp in my, thank you, Fee. now she's running. So anyway, I got an intense cramp, right? And it was hurting bad. It was hurting bad. And so yesterday I did mostly a walk, a little bit of a run, mostly a walk to Trader Joe's, right? And took the bus back. Definitely took the bus back. I could not walk back, right? And then I was thinking today, well, this cramp is definitely hurting me. So I'm gonna run later, right? I'm gonna walk later. Sorry, I'm gonna walk later. This was my plan. This was my plan. I was going to walk later after the show, right? And then I noticed that the time difference. I was sitting here with my computer all queued up, but it wasn't time to do the show until an hour. I was like, an hour? Wow. So I'm just sitting here, making my notes, and Feed King texted me and said, "You ready to do the run?" And I was like, oh no. Okay. All right. So I said yes. And she comes in, we go downstairs, and like I'm like fully dressed, right? Fully dressed. I'm not planning on running. I'm planning on walking, right? And she started running immediately. And I was like, what? She running? Right? And I walked for like half a block, and I was like, well, let me try to catch up with her. And I tried to catch up with her. I caught up with her. And she was like, go, Sekou. No, I was like, no. I'm sticking right here. And I stayed with her, and I ran the whole mile. What? The whole mile. And feet were over there, shaking her hands. Like, I could not believe it. I could believe it because I'm telling you, this cramp was hurting me. And right up until I decided to go for it. And I was going to only go for it for a block, right? I was like, all right, well, I'm still feeling all right. Let me try another block. And I was like, oh, man, that's incredible. So the fact that you can get past, once again, I'm not a physical advisor, right? You got to check with your own person, right? But for me, in my life, when I can deflect in my mind what's happening, so I can deflect it to a more positive outcome, my body says yes. When I can define it to a negative outcome, my body says yes. My body says yes regardless of what I put in front of it. My body says yes. And I remember that from the marathon. I've run 2 marathons, both of which I've run post-stroke, which is incredible. I've run in 2 marathons, and both of them I was like, no, I can't. I can't do this. But I kept on finding some reason to push forward. Right? So I would say I was about 51 degrees. I was like 51% I'm gonna make it. 51%, like that's hard. That's like 1% more than halfway. Like, so 51%, that's all I needed to make it through both times. So I should. All right, so that's my daily run, and shout out to Feed King for getting me out on my daily run today and getting me running, because I wasn't going to run. Just to recap, I was about to do the show, and then I was going to go walking. So not only did she get me running, but she got me running out before the show. Like, what are you talking about? So anyway, just remember that your body will tell it what you tell it to. It will just say yes. It will just say yes. Believe me. All right. That's my run streak. Let's see if there's any comments about that. Let's see. Feed King, thanks for inviting the world. Feed King. Let's see. What you put here? Do you believe that a wealth advisor is for those other people? Do I believe that? Oh, question. This is a question for the audience. Do you believe that a wealth advisor is for those other people? I know I did. I know I did. I used to think that a wealth advisor was something I needed once I got rich. Once I got rich, not to get me rich. Once I got rich, oh, that's good. That's good. So what you want is someone to get you rich. That's what a wealth advisor will do. Well, a wealth advisor will get you rich, right? And then when you get rich, you already got them, right? But don't be trying to get it for free. Don't try to get rich first and then find a financial advisor. No, find a financial advisor now, right now, no matter what your situation is. Find a financial advisor now. All right. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's see what else we got. Let's see. Sekou's been running this vegan 938 consecutive days since his second stroke. Can we gear it up for 938 days of movement in spite of life's challenges? Yeah, Ashe. Thank you, folks. Let me put some fireworks up. Put some fireworks up. Where's the fireworks? Where is the fireworks? Where is the fireworks? Yeah, give myself a little fireworks. Give myself a little fireworks. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Yeah, do you have a financial advisor yet? I mean, real talk. Do you have a financial advisor yet? Now, I stacked the odds against me backing out. I invited Fee to come with me. I was doing it at the end of a run. Like, I did everything to prevent myself from backing off, because I already backed off once, and I wanted to push through this summer. And I just wanted to find out how much it cost. When he told me it was free, I was like, what? What? And so, please. And now this is just with Charles Schwab. That's the only folks I know about, because that's the only one I've dealt with. But go to Charles Schwab today and just tell him your sad story, because he or she will help you become rich. Help you become rich. We'll show you how to do it. Ashe. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see. That's it for. Yes. Yeah, I think Fee is recap me. A wealth advisor will guide you and advise you on obtaining riches and wealth. Yes, it will help you. So I'll give you a quick example. So there was this big thing happening with Bitcoin recently, relatively recently, and everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about it. One of my aides that comes here to help me with things was talking about it. I was like, you know about that Bitcoin? And I was like, yeah, well, I don't know. I'm gonna check with my wealth advisor. I checked with him. He was like, yeah, maybe you could give away 2%. I was like, 2%? 2% of the whole thing that we obtained? 2%? I was like, well, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. Now, mind you, yes, these things are affected by their attitudes, their losses, their perceptions. But still, he gave me a 2% thing. And I was like, man, that's not even anything. That's not even anything. Oh, Three Kings writing something down. Not using the box. Not using the box. Anyway, so that's that. And all right, so now we're going to move on to the next section of the box. See what Three King is writing me. Invest, not give away. He suggested. Invested not. Yeah, I said, give. Oh shoot, I said give away. Anyway, so he suggested investing 2% of what I had. So what I mean by that is like you can shave it down to a tiny little bit of what you've earned, and you can play with that on. You can invest this tiny little bit, move it over to this tiny little bit, and you can let it rest there. And so he was also giving me advice about doing this from the stock side. Like don't buy Bitcoin, buy the company that's managing Bitcoin. Like that's good advice. That's good advice. But still he was just like 2%. And I was like, man, if it's only gonna take 2% off of the load, I'm just gonna forget about it. I'm gonna forget about it. So I did what my financial advisor told me to do. Nothing. Nothing. I ain't moved to 2%. I already had a little bit of Bitcoin. I just let it sit, right? And yeah. So anyway, that's what I have to say. Like you can make a decision based on speaking to someone, based on talking with someone, based on having these ideas in your head and being able to speak to someone, talk to someone who has knowledge, right? Because whether you do it or not, you can do something. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, you can do something. But I phrase it like this. I did phrase it like this. It's best to be able to talk to someone about your ideas, your financial ideas. So I called him up same day. Hey man, let's talk about Bitcoin. Same day is like 2%, right? And I was like, man, 2%. That felt like a throwaway. I'd rather have my money somewhere else where it's doing more value for me, right? Okay, all right. Let's see. All right, so that's money. Oh, money. Yeah, that's money. Yeah, that's money. And stories. So that's all I wrote down for today. We'll see what happens for tomorrow. We're going to add to this. But so we saw a documentary Saturday night. So our building plays documentary. Well, plays movies on Saturday night, and Saturdays was a documentary about Stan Lee. And we didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. I was just going to go to the movies, right? Going to go to the movies and just go and sit down and watch the movie. So, we went with Brad. We've seen a lot of on social media, and so we went with Brad and we watched this documentary about Stan Lee. And you know what? There were so many things about his documentary that really got me. One was his lack of negativity. His lack of negativity. Because you always hear this. Like, there's one thing, actually there's a bunch of things that happen consistently. One of them is you got to pay yourself first. You got to pay yourself first, right? And second, you got to be positive. You got to be positive. Now, Stan Lee is a comic book guy. He's idyllic, iconic. If you know the industry, you know who Stan Lee is. He's one of the biggest people. I don't even know what his position is now, but he's big in the company, and he's always got a cameo in the superhero movies. And but when you go back, way back when, to his beginning, I mean, he was a kid. He was a teenager, sheltered with all this responsibility. and he stuck with it. He stuck with it. He just stuck with it and didn't complain and found the bright side of everything. And so that's what I want to hinge upon. You have to be positive, and you have to. Let me say something about being positive for a second. You got to be positive to the point where, see, because I want to hinge on this because I used to think I was positive, and I didn't know. So the way I was positive for myself was, I would not say anything out loud. Not say anything out loud, but meanwhile, in my head, all kinds of negative, crazy thoughts. All kinds of negative, crazy thoughts were going around in my head, right? So what he means is, what these people mean, you've got to get positive to the point where you fix them in your head. You fix them in your head. You start thinking something negative and you cancel it. You undo it while it's in your head. And so your head is developing daisies and flowers and sunflowers, right? All the time. And that's what you have to do. So Stan Lee, to me, was doing that. He was always finding the positive side of everything. And they showed interviews where people were attacking him, and he would just smile. He would just smile. And so he became who he was, who he is to the people who love the comics. By being positive. Right? So if you can just be positive all the time, that means in spite of all the things you think in your head, the difference between thinking in your head and speaking out loud is negligible. You've got to fix it in your head. You've got to cancel everything. You can always find a positive way to think about things. I found a positive way to run with P. King this morning instead of harboring my leg cramp. You know, I was like, wow, I ran a mile. And now tomorrow I got no excuse, right? You know? So Ashe, you just have to find a way. You have to find the determination to really undo everything negative that happens in your head. Everything. Now, this happened for me when I had the stroke because I had amnesia and all my thoughts were like this catch as catch can, right? And so my negativity was super low, no negativity at all. And now that I'm more of myself, I feel myself trying to throw negative thoughts in there. So I got to be mindful. I've got to be mindful because myself post-stroke was lovely. I used to not think about my right hand side at all, even though it was bothering me. I was like, ain't no bother. It wasn't until I was starting to write stuff, I was like, oh. But anyway, I am doing the best that I can to come up with negative reasons for what I got. And you can make it anything. You can make it about anything. Like you could make it about a car, for example. Positive reasons. Oh, I must have messed up. Positive reasons. So, like, you could say you can't get your car fixed, right? And that could be a negative thing or a positive thing. Like you can say, I can't get my car fixed. You say, oh, that's great because the timing is perfect because I got to do this anyway. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing, but it's just what you do with it. It's what you do with it. Anyway, let's see what's Pete talking about. Being positive and not allowing stuff to snuff out the vision you had for yourself. Not allowing dream snatches. Yes, because dream snatches are everywhere. Dream snatchers are everywhere. Me and Fee King have figured out a way to avoid dream snatchers. You got to find them quickly and move away from them because you want to keep positivity in your life. I share. All right, folks. I've run beyond my time. I've got my Slim Huskies box. I did some writing today on the box, so that I'm proud of myself for that. And I think I'm going to do what Rev Mel is doing. I think I'm going to take August off. Yikes! August off because I found a Tip Tuesday. A Tip Tuesday is what I used to call when I was talking about money on this show a while ago before the show, and I found it fascinating. I mean, so much so that I want to study my own stuff. So I want to. So I'm going to run my Tip Tuesdays, and I'm actually going to pay attention to them because they are really good. They're really good. Good info. So I'm going to keep on doing until August 1st, and then I'm going to start my Tip Tuesdays. And let's go. All right, folks. So thanks for hanging out with me, and don't forget that now is better than perfect. And I will see you mañana.